special guests in attendance today, taking time out of their busy schedules to join us. First, we have Dracut Town Clerk, Mrs. Kathleen Graham. Candidates for State Representative in our 36th District, Mrs. Kathy Richardson. State Rep, Mrs. Colleen Gary. Mr. George Bogue. And then the candidate for School Committee, Mr. Joe Wilkie. And Dr. John Kelly. I'd also like to recognize Mr. Joe Dracut, candidate for Selectman, and Mr. Dan O'Connell, candidate for School Committee, who were unable to attend today due to prior commitments. Additionally, I'd like to thank Mr. Hughes for all of his help in setting up this event, and he's been really supportive of the whole forum. So, thank you, Mr. Before we open our forum, I'd like to explain its intention: to provide newly registered, as well as future voters, with an opportunity to learn about the local election process, the importance of civic participation, and the chance to interact with the candidates that will represent them in local and state government. It is my hope that by the end of today, everyone leaves this room feeling educated about the issues and excited to participate in the local elections. That being said, I would like to officially commence our forum by inviting our first speaker to the podium, Mrs. Kathleen Graham, Dracut Town Clerk, to discuss how local elections and town government.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity. I too once sat in this seat. I graduated from the class of 1974. So it's been a while since I've been back. I'm here for town meetings, I'm here for elections. So it's still all involved. I haven't left. It's still home. Why are we here today? Just think about the impact you can have on the quality of life. You can vote in a local, state, and federal election, and you can go to town meetings and vote on matters that affect you every day. Town meeting, for instance, controls the whole community by deciding on the budget for each department. We hear so much about the public schools in Dracut, what their funding should be. Town meeting controls that amount of money, as it does with the funding of the police department, the fire department, and all other town departments. It also decides issues like building a recreational complex like Dylan McInnesby Park and Veterans Park. Town meeting must vote on every expenditure the town has, and by registering to vote and participating in the meetings, you have an impact on your town. With the local elections, does it matter who's on the school committee or the board of selectmen? Of course it does. There are important boards that make decisions that affect your lives every week. Does it matter who's on the housing authority? How many grandparents that live in senior housing? Of course it does. Does it matter who your state representative or state senator is? Do you care about having the right to vote? How old you have to be to get your driver's license? How much the minimum wage is? Of course it matters. Voting is what makes our government work. It is how elected officials hear from their bosses. It's what makes us different than a dictatorship, where we hear horrible stories about in other parts of the world. Sadly, many people don't take this right seriously. In most towns, only about 75% of the people don't vote in elections. You are a generation that can change this. So you need to take an interest. You need to register to vote. If you are 18 or going to be 18 in the near future, you can pre-register to vote. We have left some voter registration forms with Mr. Hughes and with Zach. So you won't be able to vote in the May 7th election coming up, which will be the candidates for school committee and selectmen and housing authority. But you will be able to vote for our state rep, our state senator, and the President of the United States in November. You'll also be able to attend town meeting. And come to town meeting anytime. You're more than welcome. Come and see what it's all about. It's where we voted on the information and the budget for your new renovation for the high school. Your class won't be here, but the future classes will be. And this is where it all takes place. And town meeting gives the people the opportunity to talk about it. So if you have any questions about voting or any information like that that you need, come by Town Hall. We're always there. I have a great staff, and we're always willing to help. You can website, see what's going on, and we'll be glad to help you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Graham. Next, I'd like to invite Representative Colleen Gary to the podium to discuss with us why she's running for re-election, her plans for the district if re-elected, and what it is the state representative is responsible for. Thank you.
Thank you, Zachary, and thank you to all for coming down to this room. You know, I'm also a graduate, a 1980 graduate of Dracut High School, and to give you a little more background on my life, when I was born, my dad was principal at Dracut High School, and he was principal at Dracut High for the first 9 years of my life, so my mother swore that I took my first footsteps in Dracut High School. So it's always wonderful to be back here, walking in the halls like I did as a child. When I went from Dracut High, I was involved in a lot of things in Dracut High, whether it was a marching band, a concert band, or student council, or we called it the Key Club at the time. It's kind of like the Leo Club, but it was with the Kiwanis Club at the time. National Honor, all of those things, Yearbook School Committee, the school paper, and so forth. So I've always been very involved in a lot of things. I was lucky enough to be one of the scholarship recipients at the Dracut Scholarship Foundation at graduation, when I graduated. So after I went to the University of Massachusetts at Lowell, got my biology degree, I also got involved with helping give back, and I got involved with the Dracut Scholarship Telethon, and then I became a member of the Scholarship Foundation and served as its president for about 4 years, hosting the telethon. Having paid my own way through college, I know how expensive it is, and I'm sure that some of you are worrying about that, and are filling out all the FAFSA applications and trying to see what kind of aid you can get, and make sure you apply for the Dracut Scholarship Foundation scholarships. I also worked while I was going through school. I worked full-time during the summers, and I worked 30 to 35 hours while I was going to school. Having been through that, I graduated with biology, but it really wasn't my thing, and I worked on a campaign, and I kind of caught the political bug. After the campaign, the then state representative, John Cox, who I worked with his campaign, his aide was leaving, and he offered me the job as legislative aide. I worked for him for 8 years, and during the last 4 years of that, I went to law school at night, graduated from Suffolk Law, and at that point, right at the time we were graduating, redistricting was happening. Every 10 years, the district has to be changed to make sure that the same number of people are in every legislative district. And Dracut became a brand new district with Tingsboro and Dunstable. There was no incumbent in it, and I ran for the office and I won. So I really had a fantastic year that year. That year I graduated from law school, I won the election, and I passed the bar. So it was perfect. I have been your state representative for probably your entire life. I was elected in 1994. I've been there 17 years so far. I love the job. I want to continue to do the job. I've been involved with helping to fund some of the projects, including this room with a renovation many years ago, when we did a renovation addition to the high school. I would say that I'm the only state representative candidate who actively supported the school project. I got very involved with the Friends of the DHS, and was on the line. I put myself on the line, spoke to the elderly in support of it, helped sign for it, have bumper stickers still on my car, spoke at rallies, put a quote on a mailing that went out, wrote a letter to the editor, because I love this school, I love the children in the school, I shouldn't say children, students of this school, and I want to make sure that this school continues to be an excellent school for many years to come. I've also been involved with the new library, with the Dylan McAnasby Field, with Saving Farms, Sager Farm and Wazinski Farm. I've been involved with restoration of the Harmony Hall, where many of the meetings that we have are held. I've voted on many important issues that come up. Last night we're in the budget right now, so I'm going to have to leave by 10 o'clock because I have to be down in Boston by 11. But this is budget week, and we're voting on about a $30 billion budget. As I said, this is my 17th budget. We've gone through good times, we've gone through bad times. This is the second bout of bad times cycles that I've gone through, and I have to say that Massachusetts is one of the top states in getting through this economy. this bad economy. I mean, this is a worldwide depression, and we are one of only 2 states that has over $1 billion in our rainy day fund. That's one of only 2. And we've seen you guys all know about credit scores. Well, the state has what they call a bond rating, and that's what you financially can do. And we have increased our bond rating, which is phenomenal in this time. We've made cuts. We just put out a budget that does not include any raises of taxes or fees or so forth. So we're continuing to bring back money for education, for local aid. We're still funds for community colleges, for UMass Lowell and the other universities. We've done workforce training. In this economy, we need to make sure we get more jobs. So whether you're going on to college, we want to help you with scholarships and funding of the community colleges and the universities. Or if you're going off to work, we want to make sure that there's jobs out there. You know, I'm sure everybody here knows one person, at least one person that's been unemployed, right? And we all know the high cost of gas, just getting to jobs, has increased. You guys all have cars, right? You fill them up. How much does it cost for a full tank?
$95. $40.
My tank is about 95 to fill up. So certainly we're trying to do things that will make sure that things are easier for folks to live, to get an education, and as well as preserve the community. So I would ask for your vote on September 6th is the primary. I'm running as a Democrat. I'm a very conservative Democrat. I cross party line all the time. When it has to do with this district, I vote the district. Being on the border of New Hampshire, we have many difficult situations with the no sales tax up in New Hampshire and businesses trying to compete. So I'm always fighting for that issue. And I think that my record stands. We've given out cards with contact information. I'm on Facebook if you want to friend me. I have a website. My email is on there. My phone number is on there. Please don't hesitate to call with any kind of question you might have. I don't think I'm going to be around for question and answers, so if you do have a question, please don't hesitate to call me. And I ask for your vote in September, and I ask for your vote in November. Thanks.